Our winning run did come to an end last time out in Canada, but that didn't stop Lewis Hamilton opening up a 9-point lead over his teammate George Russell in the championship. We're hoping to bounce back to winning ways here in Miami and bring some Christmas cheer. Hello folks, welcome to episode 62 here with Mercedes on F1 Manager. Today I'm bringing you the Miami Grand Prix. 4 races to go, 9 points in it at the top of the World Championship. George Russell losing the lead last time out in Canada through a combination of my ineptitude, some blunders, collisions and the weather. And Lewis Hamilton also picked up a podium in that race and now has more podiums than George this season. We are comfortably ahead of Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. I've been busy preparing the team for this race. Let's see how we're going to fare around the Miami Autodrome and its weird marina. Top speed, very important. Low speed, also very important. Acceleration, important. We don't do top speed and acceleration, as you can see by these stats. We don't go forwards particularly well, but we do corners very well. So we should be all right on that front. And also, I think because everything's so spread out, we'll still end up towards the front anyway in terms of who's best at what parts of cornering and acceleration. It's all very spread out. I have been scouting drivers as well in terms of the future. My priority is still to sign Oscar Piastri for next season. Should Lewis Hamilton retire, that is the plan. What we do with Fred Vesti, still need your input on that. There is a poll that was on the YouTube community page of the channel, but at the time of recording that actually hasn't gone out. So I have no idea what you've said, if anything at all. So we are scouting a load of Red Bull juniors, it would seem. Dennis Hauger, Jack Crawford and Yuki Tsunoda. So Tsunoda's still at AlphaTauri. That was suggested by a commenter on the Silverstone video, so thank you for that. Jack Crawford is still in Formula 2. I believe he's second in the championship at the moment. And Dennis Hauger is the reserve driver at Aston Martin. So it would seem he's left the Red Bull programme. So I'm still looking around. Nothing's decided yet. Fred Vesti's contract has 3 months to run. Hoping with your agreement in the comments and the polls and everything to move him to Williams for next season. It would probably replace... Who have they got as their drivers? Sargent and Ricciardo. Who do we replace out of those two? Is it Sargent or is it Ricciardo? Bear in mind Ricciardo is now 36 in game. Right. I think that's enough driver transfer talk for now. I'm going to go to Miami and get this show on the road and prepare to put the car on pole position. Hopefully. There's been a big scalp fall in Q2. If you look down this list, Max Verstappen is eliminated, but he does have a grid penalty. Well, he'll just start further back, I suppose, then, but he's one of many who have got a grid drop. Logan Sargent was the driver to displace him, pulling out a lap of laps in the Williams, which has scored no points this season. He was 5th fastest in Q2. We were fastest with Lewis Hamilton, 6th with George Russell. We're going to get stuck in straight away then to Q3. And let's see what the opening laps have on offer for us. The Aston Martins have looked quick. Albon topped Q1, Stroll 3rd fastest in Q2. We might as well go immediately and get a nice clear track. Let's see what we can achieve with the first run. You can see everybody else coming out of the pit lane. Leclerc, please don't get in our way. He's going to be in between us. Let's see if George can navigate the lone Red Bull in Q3 effectively. Where's he going to catch him? Right in the S's. Thank you very much, Charles. Hamilton does a 32.4. Russell, a 32.9. So he lost half a second there. Lewis Hamilton, 2 purple sectors so far then. He is going to go top of the times. The target is a 27.0 for everybody else. Russell's going to be down on this because of the traffic. How bad is it? It's 0.8 of a second. Where else did he lose time? 34.6 final sector. Yeah, he lost time everywhere, but the
Yeah,
bulk of it was in that first sector. Though someone has done a purple first sector. Perez is on a mad one here. What is Sergio Perez going to do in the Ferrari? Is he about to go fastest? He does! Sergio Perez goes fastest. Lando Norris is he was at one point there third fastest. Russell is 7th. Alright, Lewis Hamilton starting his final flying lap. Perez is going even faster in the Ferrari. 32.4 for George Russell. Hamilton not improving in the second sector. Russell with a personal best of 20.2. Lance Stroll's gone third ahead of Charles Leclerc. What has Lewis Hamilton got in the bag? Doesn't really matter if Perez is on pole because he's not in the championship fight. It's a straight fight between our two drivers. Hamilton doesn't improve. George Russell is getting a massive slipstream off of Carlos Sainz and goes second fastest, displacing his teammate. A crucial toe off of Carlos Sainz gives George Russell the advantage in tomorrow's race, and that's really good for him because he needs to close the gap. Sainz 10th fastest, Perez with a lap, a 26.7. Where has he pulled that from? What Mexican sauce is he on? How much tequila was in that? That was insane. Strategy set then. Because we don't have any new soft tyres, I've basically decided not to use them. I did save a set of mediums specifically for this sort of scenario through practice. So we're going medium, hard, medium with both drivers. We're not under fueling, so we need to push early on. So everything is all set. We're going to come in around lap 20 and lap 40. Whoever's in front on those laps gets priority. It's going to be as simple as that. No team orders. They're free to fight unless they crash into each other again, and then they have to be told what to do, the naughty little boys. Let's do a motor race. Alright, didn't expect to see a Ferrari on pole position today, but we definitely expected to see 5 red lights. The lights are out, the race is on. George Russell, can he get away well? No, not in comparison to the Ferrari, although he's having a big dive into turn 1. Hamilton looks like he's losing a position to Lance Stroll, who's on a set of soft tyres. That's going to complicate issues. He's coming back, though, is Lewis. Max Verstappen is down in 17th place thanks to his penalty. Hamilton loses out to Lance Stroll then. Russell doesn't get the jump on Perez, but they're both on used soft tyres. So, one, they're going to be faster for now, but we will soon be able to catch them because their tyres will go off earlier, but they will also get an undercut. So this is going to be a bit of a strategic race. We need to get Lewis Hamilton driving in clean air and passing that pesky Aston Martin. And there is our first bit of progress. I was just sort of monitoring things, and Hamilton almost took Stroll out. But here we go. A big dive on the brakes. Don't worry about the fact that he's ghosted through his left rear wheel, but we're through. That's the position gained. Now we need to get Lewis onto the back of George Russell. But he's got 1.5 seconds to close up. Russell is probably about to take the lead here. We might as well deploy with him and get this move done. We did need to scale back on how much we were pushing the tyres because they were getting a bit hot. Hamilton having to defend there in the background. And George Russell goes for the lead of the race. Can he make... I mean, you wouldn't ever see it side by side through that chicane. He's still not actually made the move. Here we go. Down the back straight. I think this is going to be a fairly easy slip. Look at that. What a lovely view. Nice, clear, open road for George Russell. Sadly for Lewis Hamilton, there is still a Ferrari in his way. But we will get him dealing with that very shortly indeed. Hamilton's looking like he is going through. There goes Hamilton. Through goes Hamilton. Can we make it stick? Quick, do some deploying and push with the fuel. Hamilton doesn't actually have DRS somehow here. There's a little bit of a kerfuffle, and Perez basically stopped because he needed to go in the pit lane. Oh, that was a bit janky, but alright, we're running first and second. So now we're going to press on with the tyres. We are 3 laps out, so we might as well
we're just going to need to introduce a little bit
attack with the tyres for now.
So 50 metres at the most.
And then just let them scrap it out. We'll probably end up behind Leclerc and Perez, where they're going to be in a bit of traffic. Leclerc has actually jumped Perez through all of that in the pit lane. So now Leclerc is our chief rival, but he is 22 seconds back. This could get a bit tasty with Charles Leclerc, who's actually fighting Lance Stroll. And Leclerc's on softs, so that's an interesting thing from Red Bull. They've gone soft. Hamilton has just taken the lead at the front. Right, it begins. They are going to scrap it out, it would seem. I'm going to turn them down to aggressive on the tyres. We don't want to cook them quite as much as I can see here. The temperatures are rising. It's all getting a bit hot and sweaty at Mercedes. The gloves are well and truly about to come off, I think, in this championship fight. George Russell back up the inside. He wants to win this race, but of course if Russell wins, and with the fastest lap and Hamilton second, he still ends up 1 point behind Lewis in the championship. So he does need a driver in between the pair to take the championship lead.
Red flag.
We've got a red flag. Kind of out of nowhere. I'm not sure who's crashed. I think it might be Bottas and Lawson at the back. Oh, it's Yuki Tsunoda. Maybe we don't sign Yuki. What this does do, of course, is give us a free pit stop and the front row. So, question here is, do we put on a set of mediums, then go to hards later on, and hope that we're still quick enough to fend off everybody else? Or do we commit to the hards and potentially lose ground now, and then go to the mediums later on? I think it's perfect. It's come absolutely on the lap that we wanted to pit both drivers, so they both get a free pit stop on the lap they were supposed to. Optimal pit stop lap. It couldn't come at a better time. Yuki Tsunoda with the crash timing of a legend. Alright, the restart. We are on hards. I think Sainz looks like he's on hards. That is Max Verstappen on a set of softs. Let's deploy. We can push with the engine. That is Sainz coming up the inside of Hamilton, who's losing a position at the start again. That's definitely not ideal. Max Verstappen on a set of softs right behind. Well, this race just got turned upside down. There's a almighty scrap for the lead going on here. Carlos Sainz has edged his way ahead of George Russell, and it's DRS for everybody. Are we going to make a double overtake here on Sainz? It looks like we are. We are now first and second. Nice. Carlos Sainz thought he was doing a good thing taking the lead. He's actually ended up dropping 2 positions. Let's watch this off board. This was superb. Look, we're probably just going to get the same angle. But look at that. Synchronised overtaking from the Mercedes boys. And now we lead the race. Battle is recommencing at Mercedes. Hamilton's going round the outside of Russell, and he takes the lead. We have pulled out a bit of a gap back to Verstappen and Sainz, who are starting to battle. But at the moment, we don't really want to be fighting, because now Verstappen is right with us and on the soft tyres. But they're going to be, well, they're not actually in much worse condition than ours, and we're on hards. As Verstappen sticking his nose in where it's not really wanted and being a nuisance. Hamilton having to defend from the Dutchman, and this has brought Verstappen and Sainz right back into play. Maybe I should have implemented some team orders and we just went away from these two, but I think Verstappen's pace would have just brought him back into play. Hamilton retakes the lead. We're going to go balanced on the fuel. Russell now retakes the lead. They're just going round side by side. And Hamilton gets the DRS, so he will now have the advantage. And I think Verstappen might just edge past here. Are we going to lose the position? Yes, we are. Max Verstappen into P2. Maybe we just let him go into the lead and pull us along.
Just turned in on me.
We've had a bit of a collision, I think. Max Verstappen is off the road and Hamilton's claiming he turned in on him. Oh, there's contact with Russell. Unbelievable. Does Russell have damage? Verstappen just dropped it on his own and he's bounced off the wall and has hit our cars. That is incredible. Virtual safety car.
VSC.
Damage for Lewis Hamilton to the side pods and suspension.
Positive.
Nothing we can do about that. Verstappen out of the race. What do we do here? Let's watch the crash again, just to see exactly what happened. He's just lost it. Yeah, he's bounced into Hamilton, who then hits Russell. And Sainz has managed to sneak through. Pit stop wise, I mean, we might as well put the mediums on now with both cars. I wonder what Sainz is doing. What's his time? Sainz is going to the end of the race here, and so is Leclerc. Where are we going to drop back out in all of this? We're probably going to... Verstappen has been given a penalty. Major collision caused.
Just work on getting that pack back up.
Where's the reports? So, time considerations. We're going to lose 16 seconds. So, we should pop out somewhere around Lance Stroll. So, we'll have 4 cars to overtake still. Perez is on a set of mediums. He will probably box for a set of softs towards the end of the race. We need good stops here, please, guys. Lewis, 2.5 seconds. Like that. 2.7 seconds for George Russell. Good job, Mercedes mechanics. I like that. Alright, VSC has ended. Hamilton is within a second of Lance Stroll. We are 13 and 16 seconds behind Carlos Sainz, who leads the race. But we have got a wounded car with Lewis Hamilton. Can we catch the guys ahead? We'll deploy for now. Hamilton losing time. He's going to be slow, I think, in this race. Has Verstappen, his old nemesis, kind of sabotaged his championship here? 15 laps to go. Sainz leads this race. A Ferrari about to get a victory this season out of basically nowhere. George Russell has passed Lance Stroll, which means he is directly behind his teammate. As it stands, he's going to lose points to him still. But obviously Hamilton has the damage to his car. Is Russell driving in clean air? He is. He's at peak confidence. Hamilton only at very high. We are closing on those ahead of us. Just took 3/10 out of Albon. But we were a second faster than Sainz. We're only 6 seconds off the lead now. This is a very tight race. Right, Lewis. Can you find a way through? Not close enough here. We will get him to deploy for the next straight. Or is he going for it? I thought he was going for it. What's Russell up to? We'll watch from Russell's point of view here. You can go for it, please, Lewis.
We're still in this race.
And then we might as well get George to drive in clean air too. See if we can pull off another sneaky double overtake. There's Hamilton, and it looks like this time, well, Albon defends. Are we going to go down the outside of the Aston Martin? Let's see off board. Can we make it stick? Here comes Russell just piling into the corner. Albon defending well there. And Russell getting a run on his teammate. They've both got DRS, and George Russell makes a critical manoeuvre. Can he make it stick? Hamilton coming back, having none of it. Remember, they collided in Canada. but they survive this time. Bit of a problem now here. We are in a DRS train which runs up to Leclerc. So he's followed by Perez and Albon and then us. Russell looks like he fancies not being the last one of the queue here. We need to probably... Do we ask them not to fight? Hamilton is having to defend. He might turn it into an overtake. He's been blocked off a bit there and lost the position to George Russell. How much can we take out of the tyres here? We're still fighting. They're just boxed in. Leclerc is just backing this lot up. And we're just getting stuck. Russell does now get the position. Let's see if he can make a bit more progress than Hamilton did. We are losing a lot of time behind Perez, and I've just figured out the reason why. Look at the state of his tyres, 26%. He is holding us up no end. We need to get through. We need to turn the overtake aggression up to high. On
just show me what you've got then.
Not on Lewis just yet. We're driving in clean air to just try and find a way through. Let's stop Lewis driving in clean air because he's basically all over the road trying to find a way to keep the car cool. Can George get through here? Perez has got DRS again. How's he managed that? I think they're all driving tactically to stop us winning. And we just can't. We're stuck. Completely stuck. Maybe that might be about to change. Russell sweeps past, and now we need to get Hamilton doing the same. That was a lovely move by George Russell. Perez obviously struggling with his tyres. A little bit of understeer. Runs wide. And Russell says, OK, I'll gobble that up. Thanks very much. Russell should now pretty quickly find his way into P3. There he goes. Hamilton losing a whole load of confidence because he can't find a way past the pesky Ferrari. Going to have to make this stick. Russell is actually about to take P2, it would seem, from Leclerc. Here comes Lewis Hamilton, finally passing the Ferrari. But he's lost nearly 3 seconds to his teammate. Let's see if he can catch him. Sainz is very happy, 4 seconds in the lead. Russell is he going to go past here? Russell's in P2. Hamilton is going to get a crack at Alex Albon here on the final lap. Might as well attack with the tyres. I will turn the overtake aggression down a bit. Russell won't... Oh no, so we've got 2 laps to go, sorry. Russell might still yet catch Sainz. He's 4 tenths quicker than him last time round. Let's attack on his tyres as well. Give him a chance of at least winning the race. Hamilton not going through just yet. Will deploy on the back straight. He won't catch Leclerc. So Hamilton's best bet is P4. Russell might yet still win this. We'll deploy with him as well. Give him every opportunity to win this thing. What a mad race. An absolutely mental race. Hamilton's still not finding that way through. Turn the overtake aggression up. Carlos Sainz starts the final lap, 2 seconds in the lead. Russell isn't going to catch him. Hamilton makes the move and has now run out of battery. Well, that was before we got back to it. As long as we hang on to that, it'll be fine. Russell not making enough inroads into Sainz's lead. He's going to finish just short, I think. But what a performance from the smooth operator. Stand up and applaud the Ferrari strategy team. They have hit the nail on the head and won in Miami. Carlos Sainz wins, George Russell second, Leclerc will take third, 3 different constructors on the podium. Lewis Hamilton has to settle for 4th.
So we have
and 12 points versus George Russell's 18, but it keeps him 2 points ahead in the championship standings.
Great drive today, mate.
But that's 2 races now in a row where we've not won. Should we be concerned? Although, if they're developing their cars now, what's the point? Because there's a reg change coming. So I'm not too worried. Carlos Sainz wins from 9th on the grid, by the way. What a race. That red flag played beautifully into his hands. We had committed to the 2-stop anyway. It didn't quite work out. But still, 2nd and 4th. Considering everything that happened, Lewis, obviously with a damaged car, that's a decent result. So it's 3 points, in fact, the gap at the top of the championship. Well, hopefully that sprinkled some Christmas cheer for you. It's not the victory we were after, but that was still a very exciting race, all said. Make sure you join me for the next round, which will be at COTA in Texas, part of a North American final sort of leg of the season. 3 rounds to go, 3 points separate George and Lewis. In the comments, tell me who you think is going to be world champion in this season. I'll see you in COTA. Remember, you're the best fans. Bye for now.